So ek dink it's now live on Facebook. I think it's
It's
happening.
live. Yes.
Hi there. I want to welcome Copeland to my new interview settings that I'm doing for lockdown, COVID-19 of South Africa, the lockdown that we're having here in South Africa. Now, Copeland is the founder of My Eco Sprout, so she's going to tell us a little bit more about that. So first, I just want to say hello, Copeland, and welcome. And
hi, Nadya. I'm so happy to speak to you.
yes,
Excited to see your face.
it's lovely to see you too. So it's gonna be a nice, just informal chat. I want to get to know you a bit better. I want people to get an essence of who you are, the woman behind the business, the mom, everything about you, your life, your experience. So we'll start with how are you experiencing the lockdown in South Africa, particular, because it's very different all over the world. But just particular for you, we are locked inside. We can't go anywhere. We now have a bit of exercise period and stuff where we can go and exercise and get out. But essentially, we're kind of stuck at home. How's that impacted you?
There's quite a few sectors and different aspects where it's impacted me. Firstly, on a personal level, and then financial, obviously, and then in terms of business, that's like completely different as well. So to me, it's sometimes actually hard to make sense of the one because you're still battling to know. So what's the impact on the other one? So you're bouncing back and forth, and I think it's just emotionally, it is quite a challenging time for everyone out there. For myself, I think I've built my Eco Sprout now for about a year. So if we look at that, it's actually do need some time to actually build a business, and it's actually at that stage where it's really like picked up, and then all of a sudden there was this uncertainty of what's going to happen to your business that you've worked so hard to build. And I think especially within South Africa, there is a lot of businesses sitting in exactly the same boat. We're all in the same boat.
Yes.
And there's a lot of entrepreneurs doing their own thing. So we didn't actually knew what was going to happen. But fortunately, because we fall under a sector of agriculture, we were to some extent allowed to do some of our business, especially because we're quite small as well. We don't have a lot of people working for us, so it's something that we do from home within an allocated space. So a lot of our work could actually just carry on like normal. And then, yes, obviously, if people would want to then start growing their own things because you're stuck at home. What do? You know, there's
It's
all
the
of a sudden
perfect opportunity.
so much time for people to actually start growing something. And I think it also it was shining a light on the importance of actually having food and what will food production look like in the near future for everyone. And it's not
Yes.
that we are thinking, oh yes, well now people are growing things. That's nothing to do with that. It's just basically people realizing that it's actually quite important to know exactly where your food sources are within a country as a whole and what it actually takes for people to get food to you. Because all of a sudden there's so many constraints. There's like law enforcement everywhere, traffic. No one is allowed to courier stuff, and how do you buy stuff? Like there were so many systems that was overwhelmed. So that was definitely that aspect. From a personal level, I'm a mom of two little girls, and my husband needed to keep on working, so he was never allowed to stay at home or forced to stay at home. So he was gone during the day. He works within the health department of the Western Cape. So I was home. I was the only one in lockdown.
With two kids, and they're small kids as well. They're not old.
And they're small kids. So while everyone was kind of like having a beautiful family time, reconnecting with all their stresses as well, obviously, my husband was not here. He is still not
I
here.
don't know
He
how
was
you
working
cope because
full-time.
yes.
And actually, to some extent, much harder than when he was working because of the crisis. So it's weekends as well. Anyway, so in terms of that, I know sometimes you just need to pull all of your strength from friends, family, and just knowing that every one of us are sitting with a specific struggle.
Yes.
And I think you find your energy and your support within knowing that you are not the only one out there that's sitting within a crisis like that, and knowing that, you know what, just stop focusing on yourself and what you are going through. Just know that there's a lot of other people going through that as well, or just even worse circumstances, you know, because these days everyone's telling you, but be grateful for what you have. And yes, that's completely true, but at some stage you are grateful what you have, what you've got as a family, in terms of space, and what you're allowed to do and income and all of that. But it's still, we are humans, and it doesn't really matter. We would want to do more. We are used to getting out, socializing, interacting with people in a normal way. Um, Video calling is great, and I do appreciate our social media so much.
Yeah.
But there's a certain energy that we pull from one another when we give hugs, and when we read one another. There's a body language to that. So yeah, I am definitely also frustrated being at home.
Yes.
Can't imagine. Yeah, but
Missing
you
that
just need
personal
to,
contact, right?
yes,
Because there's
yeah,
nothing, I mean, a
personal
screen is
contact. And
awesome, but it's not the same as having someone in your personal
yes,
space.
it's definitely not the same. No, it's definitely not the same. Thankful for it, but it's definitely not the same. Yeah, so those are the things that I've been going through. And I think for our children, I mean, like my little girl, the one is just over 2, and the other one is 5. No, 4. Sorry, she's 4. And and yeah, it's difficult for them.
Mm.
She knows that she's not allowed to see friends or to touch the groceries when we unpack these things. And if it would have been 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I think at that stage you're still strong, but then they do adapt and they know exactly what's going on, and you can't hide anything from them. So I
No.
think in terms of that, like, honesty is just the best thing, because then you
Yes.
still have a trust relationship with them. Yeah, so all of
Okay.
those things. Yeah, so that's
Awesome.
us.
So I kind of I jumped in with your business, but I didn't get you to explain your business. So I am in love with your business, and we have grown at home some of your stuff. But let people know, what is My Eco Sprout? How did you discover it? What is it? Where can we find it?
Yes, okay, so um, my Eco Sprout is a business model specifically focused and aimed at families with younger children. So we always say, like, anything between the age of 3 to almost like 16 years old. All right, just because of our artwork, because growing something can be for anyone actually. So what we do is we have put together like a few different kits, to help people grow something, so you've got everything within your kit to actually make this plant grow. And then the other thing, I've got an example here I'm going to show you just
Yes.
now. The other focus within this company is to grow a few things that's not your average red tomato. Okay, this is it's helping families to kind of like see the process through, because if you know that there's a red tomato that's going to come up, then you're used to red tomatoes. So there's not an extra peak of excitement to kind of like see it through,
What's
because
going to turn
some
out?
vegetables
Yeah.
are what's it's going to be like. We've never seen this before. And it's not that it's more difficult to grow, it's just really, it's rare. So and it's not vegetables that can be, well, it can be mass produced, but seeing that we as a society have learned to only grow a few or a certain type of tomato that's appealing to people, and they've obviously manipulated some of it to be pest resistant and all of that type of thing, or drought resistant, all of those. all of our seeds are obviously GMO free. Okay, so
Awesome. But that's a very important point. GMO free is very important because you hardly ever these days get seeds that aren't genetically modified. So heirloom seeds, you guys, are important.
yes,
And
it's very
non-genetically
important.
modified seeds are vital.
And yeah, and it also it plays a huge part in our heritage actually, because of our mass-produced fruit and vegetables. A lot of these heirloom seeds has been they have just they're not there anymore. They're going
No.
extinct because people are not actually preserving their seeds because food is readily available. So no one really needs to grow their own things. So that now you don't share seeds anymore and you don't share the skill anymore. And it is definitely for family specifically with children. It is such a I always call it, it's not just growing your own food. It's got so much more to do with that. It's got to do with your nutrition, knowing where it's coming from, spending time as a family without necessarily going somewhere, and paying for food and drinks and be stressed
Yeah.
about what you need to wear and all of that. No, it's none of that. You do it at your home, and it's an open play opportunity for younger kids, and yeah, just basically a learning curve as a family to get your hands dirty and get all of those good I think it's called microbes, yes, within your system, and it actually there's quite
builds
a science
your immunity
behind that. Yes, and it makes you happy, and it's good exercise as well. So there's so many benefits out there. So yeah,
yes, because
but
we don't want to
then
have the seedless watermelons. We think it's awesome.
no, we want.
How can you have a seedless watermelon? What's going to happen? Where's
Yeah,
the next
exactly.
watermelon coming from if you have all these seedless fruit? And I said to my husband the other day, we were buying these really beautiful peaches. I'm not going to say from which store, but they look awesome and they taste like nothing. They were just sweet. It did not taste like a peach. It's not an authentic peach because suddenly all the fruits are beautiful and perfect because that's what humans want, these beautifully, perfectly
Yes, it's
shaped things.
definitely
No
it's been set
seeds
up
in the
like that
watermelons.
because of
We
what
need
we
the
would want to
seeds.
buy. Yes, yeah, true. And what also happens is if you get like a very shiny apple within a store and you think it's all beautiful and it's got a little bit of a glitz on it, uh, please know that most of our fruit and vegetables have been sprayed.
Yes.
Yeah, it's to
And
keep them
waxed.
fresh. It's to keep them fresh so they don't actually I think you call it oxidize.
Yes, when
It's
the
like the
oxygen and it turns
interaction.
the skin and the
Yes,
peels different
yes,
colors. Yes.
yeah, exactly. So this way they look much nicer for a longer time period, which means the retail within it, the stores just buy gets to it gets stores to buy them sometime in order to kind of like get it to the consumer and sell it. But those things are toxic. They are very, very toxic. And because of most of our fruit and vegetables are grown and they're mass produced, so they can't actually sit with a crop that's producing tomatoes continuously, and that's what heirloom seeds does. If you grow tomatoes or I would say corn um, in that scale, you would want to harvest all of them exactly at the same time,
Yes.
which means that they need to harvest at the same time, and that's why some of them has been manipulated. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense to harvest
Well, it's
in
because
that big scale.
we want food out of season instead of just eating what is specific to your season, which would be better for us.
Yes,
Because certain
yeah,
fruits and vegetables are exactly what we need in certain times of the year, and so now
yeah.
I think, eating seasonally and not expecting avos in summer, um, where the prices are high. And I mean, there's a whole new. If you go onto Netflix and watch some movies on avos, I didn't even realize how dangerous avo production was in South America. And how people are getting killed for recipes and breeds of avocado. It's like the drug industry in South America. I didn't know that, but because
No,
of
I mean,
people
I'm
wanting
learning something
avocados
new.
because they're awesome and they're nutritious and they became the superfood, and suddenly it changed the industry. But I think what is important and where I think your product comes in is bringing again that family thing, learning about seeds, learning about growing. Because I saw on your sprouts and things that you have, and you've got these cool strawberry popcorn and different colored tomato.
Yes.
Show us some of your stuff. Yeah. Share us, share us.
So we've got this little one. This is a strawberry. It's called strawberry popcorn. So it looks like this. So I don't know if
Oh, it's
if
beautiful.
I
And I mean, which kid wouldn't want that?
yeah, exactly. So what happens is, um, so what we've done is because I've got a sustainable heart. I think I'm born with it, or maybe I've learned to be more conscious about what should be done in order to preserve our future. But so when we started to design these things, I would really want it to be appealing for children, obviously. So it needed to be colorful, um, and but all of the packaging has been it's been in second or third recycled journey, as like yeah, it's not virgin cotton, all right. So it's
Amazing.
already been recycled. Okay, so this is just what we've decided, and then what we've also done is we've actually tried to utilize every single centimeter on the box. So that would be a game. It's not
Yeah.
just instructions or all of the other stuff. That's a game. And then that is your plant marker, which
Did
you
you put
push
in?
out. So it's all different. All of it's very,
It's
very
all
interactive
functional. Yes.
and functional. It plays a vital part within the actual growing. And then the other things that we've got is this one.
Oh, yes, I
This is
saw
your
that.
traditional your traditional little sprout house, the one that you've made in school. Do you remember those? Which has got the little bag and the seeds in. So this one's doors, you push them out and you open them, you put them onto a windowsill, and then you are growing your own. This is the chickpeas one,
Oh,
and then
wow.
yeah, and then this is tomatoes.
Yes, and aren't they?
These
You get
are
party
cherry
packs in
tomatoes.
that as well,
Yes,
don't you?
so for just to replace all of those lucky packets with the sweeties and stuff in them, we would rather want that friendship to continue and grow into something stronger and more natural than having kids running around with hyperactivity, being induced by all of the sugar that they've just consumed. So yeah, a party would definitely end more peaceful with less crying if you've got those ones around, and it serves as an activity. So it's really, really fun. And yeah, once again, it teaches children about their nutrients and what it actually takes to grow something. Yeah, so we've got those, and then there's plenty others.
So where can
Yeah, but
people
those
find
are
you and find your products? Say we want to buy your stuff now, because I'm sure after this everyone will want to get their kids and even for themselves, to get some veggies and sprouts, and you've got those little jars and things. So where can we find your products? And you can deliver right now because you said you're one of the that falls in the agricultural group, so you can.
yes. So what we have an online platform where you can go and pick whichever seed you would want to grow. So it's called well, you go to the website, it's www.myecosprout.com, and then you just make your selection, and then we courier countrywide. There is also a few other retailers that stocks this. If you want to get some food in there as well and some other essentials, and that one is called Faithful to Nature. I think it's a quite a well-known retailer.
Yes.
All of our kits are there, just not the seeds just yet. We'll get to that. And then there's Moers in Bloemfontein. There's a couple of shops, standalone shops as well. But yeah, so but I think with now, I think the best solution is obviously online.
Yes. So now that you've got the whole business thing, I want to know a little bit more about you as a person.
Okay.
Now, I know you personally, but I want people to get to know because I know Copeland as this bubbly, sparkly, shiny person who's prepared to help and share. Even just now, you were helping me to figure out how to get this online onto Facebook. You're the kind of person who doesn't hog information or keep things for herself. You're a very sharing, loving kind of person. So, how did you get to be who you are? Who influences who you are the most?
Gosh, I think it's got to do with so many things. And I think this is exactly why you should always know that it's not just one person. It's circumstances. It's your upbringing. There's so many factors involved, specifically within who you are. But I've grown up on a farm in Lady Grey. It's a small town close to Alleville North, and then another 2.5 hours from Bloemfontein, for instance. It's in the Eastern Cape. And well, I've spent most of my childhood there, and then I went to school in Bloemfontein, and from there I came to Stellenbosch, and I never wanted to go back because I grew up in the mountains, so I kind of like
Yeah.
I do like, yeah. So I'm a farm girl, and I think that's also that made me realize how important or space is overall for specifically children. Because when I had my kiddies, I realized how I actually then kind of like introspect into what actually really makes me happy, and because nature made them happy, it just made me realize, you know what, but this is actually the thing that makes me happy, because we are so calm. This is what calms us. That's my therapy, going
Yes.
outside.
Yeah.
um, and just spending time in nature and preserving nature. And saying this, my mother and father, they always loved to grow stuff. They always had an immense passion actually to beautify spaces around them, whether it was ours or a rental or wherever they went. They really like invested their time with one another and our family to make it look like oh gosh, it's just it's Eden. It's definitely
Oh,
yeah.
beautiful.
So I think I value that a lot. My mother was a very strong woman, very loving person. The same with my father. So I really grew up in and a big household as well. I've got 3 other siblings. So so I think that's where I learned my sharing bit from.
Well, that's brilliant.
There was just no other choice, so it
You
comes
had
quite
to.
naturally.
Well,
Yeah.
I also want to know, if you had to pick somewhere to settle down, say you could pick anywhere in the world, including South Africa, but maybe there's a foreign place that draws your heart. What other places in the world would you want to settle in?
I do like I have not traveled that much to other countries except for I went to India for work. I've seen what that looks like. I've got a brief idea what it looks like in Dubai, but then and a little bit of Kuwait. Okay,
Wow.
that's not my scene. That's not my scene. Okay, but I think it's just I love the green spaces. It really just I'm loving it. I'm not so fussed about whether it's cold or not, as long as it's beautiful with a lot of
Yeah.
mountains. I don't feel claustrophobic
Are you more
when
mountain? Are
there's
you
a
more
lot of
mountain than beach?
mountains. Yes, definitely more. Couldn't
More
care
summer
much
than
about the
winter or
beach.
winter than
There's a
summer?
lot of little bit in between, but I would go for winter. I don't mind winter.
Skiing,
Yeah, so
snow, hot
it's
chocolate.
yeah, skiing, snow, hot chocolate, all of that. The cozier, the better. Um,
And what's your favorite
and
food?
the closer. Food, what would that be? I do like sushi, but I've learned to just enjoy very basic food and fresh fruit and vegetables. I think and it was actually always like that. Maybe I'm a lazy cook. Um, so I don't end up actually making something from it. I just use it as it is. It might be because of the time that it actually take or that,
Yes.
but I like to make little beautiful cookies every now and again, but that's really every now and again. So I do like my things fresh. I also like eat broccoli fresh or like snacks from stuff in the garden. That's really like who I am. It's just like makes me happy, and yeah, that's
Just natural and
I enjoy.
beautiful. Well, you can see it from your complexion and your youthful look. You look awesome. So obviously it's working really well. And just a
Thank
final
you so.
question. If there's anything that you want to say to anyone in the future, imagine someone in the future is looking back and if you can capture what's happening in this time of your life, even in the lockdown, whatever, just maybe this moment, if you could explain to someone and want to give them an insight as to how you're feeling or anything you might want to say to someone who's looking back from the future to this moment, what are you going to remember about this time?
I think specifically what the emotional roller coaster that I've been through within this time period made me, um, yeah, it to some extent I feel selfish about it, and then the end result is being and knowing that you need to be mindful, because there is so many different people and on our planet. Just 1 second, I'm just gonna get someone that just woke up. Give me 1 second.
Isn't it just lovely talking to Copeland and just getting an insight into who she is as a person? And I want to just see who's awake.
Go.
Oh, Edie! The Thora!
So, Dora,
I'm so
but
used to Edie's
I
blonde
think,
hair. It's Thora.
yeah,
Oh.
I think a lot of my thought was we are very easy to judge who should be doing what and what's correct and what's wrong. It's very hard because all of us are in different industries. We've been exposed to so many different things. So I'm just saying that be mindful and sensitive towards other people,
Mm.
and don't judge too easily because you don't know their circumstances. And the same goes for judging judging what's going on. I've been down the rabbit hole of what should have been done, what should not be be working, and when this should end and that should end. But at the end of the day, we just need to hold on to our core beliefs, support one another where you can, and know that we're only human and that we're fragile, and that we need one another in order to make this work.
Oh, that's beautiful. Makes me almost tearful. That's a beautiful message. Hello, Thora.
Thora loves being on camera,
Oh,
but
she
she
looks
just
so
woke.
dreamy.
She's still
Hello. Is she
sleeping.
pretending to sleep?
I think
She's
she
so cute.
is.
I want to say thank you so much, Copeland. It was fascinating talking to you. I'm going to be posting some links to your company as well. It was lovely
Oh,
to get an
Nadya, it was
insight
lovely
into this
speaking to
beautiful
you.
woman who's running this wonderful business, changing the world. And you're a mom and you've got all of these things and you're on lockdown with your kids on your, I mean, hats off to you. You've got an amazing life over there. And even though it's sometimes tough for all of us, thank you for sharing your
Yes.
life and your time with me. I really, really appreciate it. And lots of hugs and
Oh,
kisses for the
well,
girls
at least I've
and for
got
you.
these with me.
And it was lovely talking to you. And I'll let you know when I'll be posting this. So I'll be stopping the recording now and I'll chat to you just after.
That's fine. Bye, guys. Thank you for listening in.
Thank you. Bye, Dora.